Hey, so yesterday, my husband and I took our kids to the park to have a picnic because it was such a beautiful day. And the moment that we got there, he brought out the football, and the four of them, the three boys and him, were throwing the football around and playing football and having so much fun with football. And I was just sitting on the picnic mat looking at them and trying to be present, but kind of like also looking at my phone because I was bored and reading a little bit of a book. But then every 2 minutes, as I would read, the kids would go, "Mommy, look at me, I've caught the ball." So I'd have to look up, talk to a couple friends, just sitting there. And the reason I was sitting there and not having fun with them was because I don't play football. And that was it. And I thought to myself, I could probably try to play football if I wanted to. I mean, I shouldn't limit myself in thinking that I can't play football just because I'm a girl, but I just don't want to. I don't want to learn how to play football. I don't want to get hit. I don't want the ball to hit me in the face. Like, I just don't want to. But after a long time of sitting there and after I was done, I got up and my little boy was like, "Mommy, why don't we just play, let's play teams. Can you be on my team?" And I thought, this kid is crazy. I can't play. And, but I just decided to just do it. And they started throwing the ball at me. Long story short, they threw me like 20 balls. I probably dropped all of them. But all of a sudden I caught one and it was so fun. I felt like $1,000,000. And then I caught another one, and then I made a couple touchdowns, and all of a sudden I was playing football with my boys. And I played terribly. I mean, nobody would ever pick me intentionally to be on their team. But I had so much fun. It was amazing. So then when I get home, I tell my husband, I can't believe it. I played football. And he was just like not really making a big deal about it. He was like, "Yeah, it's cool." And I'm like, "Orlando, I played football. Hello, it's like a big deal." And he's like, "Yeah, okay, awesome." And I'm like, "But why aren't you making a big deal out of it?" And he's like, "Well, because, girls play football all the time. Like, he was like, I've never underestimated girls' ability to play sports. Like, I don't know why you want me to make this such a big deal." I'm like, "Well, maybe some girls play sports, but I have never played sports. I grew up doing piano and ballet. I've never played a sport in my life. It's a big deal for me to play football." And he says, "But you're an athlete." You guys, when he said, "You are an athlete," I almost fell on my butt. I'm like, "You consider me an athlete?" And he said, "Caro, you ran a marathon. Anybody who runs a marathon is an athlete. I mean, at least in my eyes, I could never run a marathon. So in my eyes, you're an athlete." Can I tell you that is probably one of the biggest compliments that anyone has ever given me in my entire life? Because I've always wanted to be an athletic person, but I've never considered myself to be an athlete. And when he said that, I was just like, I'm in my 40s and I am becoming more and more and more of a person that I have wanted to become. And it's based on these daily choices that I make. It's this constant development and just becoming who ultimately I want to become. And the fact that he sees me that way really just impacted me so profoundly, because I didn't get the memo that anybody would consider me to be athletic. I had no idea, but he did. So anyway, I'm sharing this with you guys because sometimes this is the result of daily habits that you start to incorporate in your life. You start doing these things, and maybe you still see yourself as a past version of yourself, as somebody that you used to be. You still see yourself as like with the same limitations or inside the same box that you used to be in the past. And in reality, you've evolved because you've been making these daily choices and you've been changing your perception, your ability, your personality, your behavior, your habits, everything. And you start evolving into somebody different, somebody that is more like that person that you would have liked to have become, but you maybe thought you weren't. And it isn't, sometimes it isn't until someone looks at you and points it out in a very nonchalant way, matter of factly, that you realize, oh my God, I've come such a long way. So if you are, doing all this work and you are putting in the deposits and you are changing your habits and you're moving forward, don't forget to look back and remember where you used to be, and remember that you're not the same person that you were then as you are now, because chances are you've grown a heck of a lot in the last few years, and you've done a lot to evolve, and you should be really proud of yourself for that. As for me, I'm pretty proud that I played football. Bye, guys.
Nando's impersonation of how Caro catches the ball.
No way! He got it! Mommy! Mommy! You did it! It's the most awkward thing.